Hello everybody, I'm Sota and welcome back to Parcel Simulator. In the last episode we had a small catastrophe over here because we got too many approved parcels coming through. They were blocking the launcher from landing the packages over here, caused a bit of a problem. Oh, and I painted all the belts. Anyway, I have been thinking a little bit about how I'm going to do this. I have space and I haven't been using this space in here very well. So I'm thinking maybe I should do something about that. So that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to get this all fixed up before I upgrade this area. And I have measured and I should be able to do a double setup, like 2-gate setup like we have over there in this area. It might be a bit small and I may need to move these racks over just a little bit. Not necessarily, but I think I'd feel better if there was a bit of a gap. So yeah, we're going to do that preparation. We're going to get this all sorted out. Just the way I set up my color coordination is basically anything unchecked is on an orange line, anything already completely approved on a green line, anything declined on a red line. Helps me to make sense of what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to start in this area. I'm going to start by ripping a whole bunch of this out. I don't know what I'm going to need yet, but I'm probably going to need a lot more belts because I don't have much left. And those little boxes over there is basically all that I have left from this build. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff outside that I need to sell that I'm not going to use again. There is a lot to do, so let's get stuck in. So what I'd like to do here, I am close to both the rail and the road lines. And if I was able to split the rail and road lines off before it gets to this ramp, then I may not even need this ramp. I could just use a bridge because there'll be a lot less coming through. There are a lot less marine and air freight parcels than the other two. So if I get those split off early, I may be able to do this. And that will mean that I will need another launcher to launch the stuff over onto this belt for the road freight. But then I could also just tie in somewhere over here for the rail. That should be good. Now I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it. I could bring this line back one just to give myself a little bit more room to work with in this area. And I'm going to have to move my office area out of here because it's not going to work here anymore. Oh, and I can put it over here. I'll just stick it over there. I have this space available. And I did move my rack for the declined ones back a little bit just to make this area look a bit neater. That could mean that if I do need any extra space for anything, although in this area I don't think I'm going to, but I could bend this belt and come through tighter. And this one I could bring through next to it and up to there. That'll leave a whole big space over here. And maybe I'll use that for my office. Don't know. Anyway, let's start breaking things down. So yeah, in terms of going tighter, I don't need this to be here. I do need to move a tree though. I'll just grab this and shove it in there. And then the problem with packing up belts is they lose their color. I'll just have to repaint. So we're going to pack things up and get all of this out of the way. So, step 1. Done. Then I'm going to take a bend and I'm going to bring it wrong way. So flip it and rotate it like that. And I'm going to need a junction. I was kind of hoping I'd have one left over somewhere, but it doesn't look like it. That's fine. I'll carry on working. I'll buy a few things at once when I figure out what it is exactly that I need. Oh, actually, I've got a junction right here. So that'll go there. And we can bring another belt out. And I'm going to need it to bend again because it's going to go into a cargo type diverter. And I'm probably going to need a few of those. But I think just for now, I'm going to get 2. There it is. We'll get 2 of those. I want to get another sticker applier because we're going to need that over here as well. That is for the approved stickers. And I think I'll just pick up a couple of bends and perhaps one more launcher. That's this one. So we got some stuff we'll check out and go and fetch it. Okay, we have everything. Firstly, let's replace this belt. I'll pack that up. And I'm going to put my sticker applier in over here. But I'm going to bring it one further out, I think, because... No, not necessarily. I can't remember how these work. Yeah, you can't select multiple, so I'm going to have to move it out by another space. We can do that. And then I can put this belt back. There we go. And I'll get a bend, rotate that into position, and that goes there. On this side, I want rail. So let's select rail. Then this side will be road. And then this side will be other. Right, so another bend. And that goes in there. Then I can put these straight belts to go straight through and send them all the way down there, because that is where these ones are going. And I'm not going to use this ramp anymore. I don't think it'll be necessary. I'll leave it as an option, but I'll take it out because I want to use that somewhere around here, about there. So let's move this guy out of the way, and I'm going to need a whole bunch more straight belts, and I'm going to put a bridge over here. Or maybe not. Let me see how I'm going to work this area, because this mostly will have to come down. Oh yeah, I got the sticker applicator over here. I want to put that in. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Take that out. Drop it over there. That's the one I wanted. And I'll put that in before it even goes in, so this one can move. And I can take this and shove this in. And these are all approved, so they get their stickers, and then they go through this splitter to divert the cargo types. We'll just put that over there. Perfect. Now what I'm going to need to do, because this is coming through, there's going to be a bridge over here. This will need a merger. I'm going to move that out. I don't know if I have any mergers left. Doubt it. No, I don't, but I do have a bridge. So let's bring that in. And that will go right there. Yeah, these belts are going to need to move before I carry on with my ideas over here. Let me move this. I'm going to move it 2 tiles over. And this is going to be a pain because they don't hold their original orientation. So if I put that there, let's have a walkway through here. All right, well, that could be good. And yeah, I'm going to move all of this. I'll be right back. And with that moved, I just need to pop in a couple of straight belts. And that is the last one. Okay, so that's opened up some more space over here for us. Now that we're getting a lot more packages through, I hope these racks are going to be enough. Because if they aren't, I'm going to be in some serious trouble. And may need a whole rework on this as well. Which I'm not sure I have the space for. But that is a problem for another day. So the idea is that the approved ones coming out of this line will have their own little setup to divert everything. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate out the road and rail before it gets here. Maybe I'll just have one, maybe 2 setups for the sea and air. Could be an option. So we'll move that out the way and we'll bring this one into there. And that will sort out road and rail from this side. Not 100% sure that that is going to stay like that. But I can take this one out and replace that. So everything that comes out of here, it's on the approved belt, it's approved, it does its thing. Then for the total rework of the road and rail lines, I'm just going to pack all of this up. We'll go up to there for now. There should be enough space for me to do some good stuff over here. Yeah, I'm going to have to break this down as well. This is not going to work for me. So we'll get rid of a whole bunch of... We'll just get rid of everything. We're going to rework this area now. And grab my pallet and just start picking things up. Right, that pallet is full. Drop it down over here. Right, so the cargo type diverter. And I really hope I'm not making a mistake with that. Let's just fill that belt in the meantime. I wonder if I can fit that. I'm going to take this out of here. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to come in from the side. Hang on, let's see if we can do this. That actually goes in there, but I'm not sure if it's going to clash, and it's clipping through. Doesn't look very good. Nope, it's going there. This one is going back in. That means that this belt will need to move, and this belt will have to loop around and probably ramp again. Luckily, this line is only coming from one gate, so as long as nothing gets blocked up in front of it, it should be fine to have ramps. But they do slow the process down a bit, so I'll rethink it when we get there. I just don't want to have too many because then it separates things out too much if you have more than one of these ramps on a belt. I've explained it before, but a parcel will not go onto the next belt if there's already something on that belt. So it'll wait for the belt in front of it to clear before it starts moving onto that belt. This whole structure here, this whole bridge, it's 3 belts long, but it acts as 1 belt. So if you have a parcel sitting over here, it will not go onto the bridge until the bridge is clear. So you can see what a problem that might be. Right, so let's open this up and decide how we're going to do this exactly. I think I'll put it like that, or no. This is going to take up a bit more room, but I think it might be better. I'm going to take that out. We're going to get a couple of bends in here. So that one will go there. This one will take out... Oh, hang on, before I do that. This is going to be other. So there you go, it's set to other. So I need to take road and rail off. Ooh, we're going to have a bit of belt hopping over here. Let me move this pallet out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem. This I can move forward. So let's grab that, move it one forward, move that forward, get a straight bit. Let's reset the color, shove it in there. And it's too close. Because if I take the road out, it's going to need to hop this belt. I don't need this one in here. Let me take it out, move it over this side. For now, I'll just dump it over there. Get myself another bend so I can finish this piece right there. So that will be other. Then I need to decide which is going to be road and which is going to be rail coming through this way. Unless I just tie them in here. That I can do. But then I need the air freight and maritime that are coming through here to go somewhere. Well, I might just do a jump. Let's try this out. We'll put this over here. I have a package somewhere. Let's go grab one of these and we'll give this a little test. That works. Perfect. Although this is semi-upgraded. Don't know if I want that. Nah, it should be fine. We'll leave that there. Just keep an eye on it. Now this little loop I had in here because I did have a jump coming over so I could loop it back onto the road line. And I might use something like that again. But because I've moved this one forward, I can move this out. I'll just dump it over here. And then I can move these both back a bit. And now my pallet's in the way again. So let's do that. And this is creating just a bit more space. This can come out. And that can go in there. This is actually probably not going to be where this loop is going to land up. Yeah, I may actually move that further down. Then we'll have some more space for processing. Although, I'm freeing up a lot more than I expected. Anyway, let's move this in. And then this bend over here. And then a straight bit. And we'll shove that in right over there. And another quick test. Drop this. That's fine. Perfect. I don't want that going through. Now we are going to want to tie in. We just move this big screen out of the way. Put it in over here. And this is going to come out. And I'm going to need a junction. That one will do. And that can go right in there. And then I will be bending this one out of here for the rail. So the rail will come down. It will turn and come into there. Let's get the bend sorted out. So on this line, rotate like that. So that'll come into there. No problem. And I have another ramp. Oh, this was the level 1. Yes. I'm going to take this one over here. Well, the level 0, whatever it is. I'll pick this one up and take this one back to... I think we could... let's move it back to there. Otherwise, if there's a box here, this actually doesn't work. And also, if something glitches here and it falls off the edge, I don't want it falling onto this. That means I need to do another quick test. Perfect. Well, that works well. And that means we'll have another bend over here. So once I've got these lines in, that's the road and rail from this side sorted. And then I can grab this one, turn it like that, and give this a little test. That's excellent. Let's see how it goes. That's what I want. Okay. My little test box can go down there. So then this output will be road, and this output will be rail. Yeah, maybe I'll loop it back and let it come in somewhere closer, like there. So let's take this out, move the junction into there. Then this can just go in there, and I'll attach more belts. So that's rail, that comes out, goes into this port. That bends, and then a few more straight bits, and it goes into there. Now for the road. Going to bend this one out, like that. And now I just have to make sure that I have space. So I'm going to move the flower pot somewhere there. This is going to come through next to... No, it's not. It's going to come one back. Oh, no, not necessarily. I can put it over there. And then I just need to set this up again. Rotate that into place. And then the junction, can take that out. And put this junction in over there. So I need to get another launcher. Put it over here. Level 1 should be fine. Pop it over this belt. And then it goes into there. Now, let's see if I've got enough bends to do this. There we go. Another straight bit. And maybe one more. Oh, actually, no. No, it won't be there. That I need there though. And this one can come in, and I need a couple more. That is sorted. Now I'm still going to need to bring these lines down, because these are the road and rail that will come from that area. So I can put this in, because I think what we'll do here is we'll first separate out the air and the maritime. Let's just make sure. Yes, I think I can do that. This is where we'll split the road and rail. So this one will be set to rail, this to road, and it does look like I'm all out of bends. Alright, I'll put the bends in soon. So with this line, it'll come through... I don't need this anymore, so we'll bring that out. There's a bend I can use for that location, and that's in. Oh, I'm going to set this to none. There we go. So this is still set to maritime, and that's still set to air. I can bring this out, but now before I do that, I need to figure out how I'm going to do this without clogging it up over here. Like, I don't really want the air and sea to come in from this side and still go through this single point over here. That's... So just for a second, let me take that one out. Need to move things out of the way again. And maybe I should move this further down. Yeah, I think I must make sure that these are still correctly set. Rail, road, perfect. And that in there. I think we're good. Just need to pack these up so they're not in the way. And move this tree. Right, how are we going to do this? I think we need to do it somewhere over here. And I do have space, so this doesn't need to be right next to this anymore. So if I position this over there, and I do away with this belt. In fact, all of this will be done away with now. And I'll need a bend. And I don't have any more. Oh well. This can move as well. We'll grab that and put it out maybe there. Might need to turn this one. Well, no, I don't need to turn it because I picked it up and everything reset. Put that in there. Then this one will be air, just like that. This will be maritime, and this will be other. Right, just like that. So the other will come out, it'll go into here. Did I need to have this so far away? Not really. Maybe I should move this one a little bit further back, because I still need to get... everything on this is wrong. Is it? It is, because we've already got that separated out, this separated out. So this will be set to none. This will be set to sea, so maritime. And this will be set to air. We'll put that one in, and that. And then we're going to have to merge the two. Okay, so maritime is on this side, and air is on that side. There's going to be a ramp somewhere. A bridge. Let me see if I can do this any better. Oh, well, no, not necessarily. I'll pick that up and move it one forward, like that. I'll be able to bring the air around the back. Okay, that will need a ramp. I have one. Right there. A bridge, I mean. So we could put that into that position. That means I can bring this belt off. Actually, that will then just need to be a bend. I don't have to do anything fancy with that. This is all going to leave now. That will be a bend coming into there. That junction can go there. We can move this back in here. That'll all be air. Get rid of all the things that we don't need. Actually, we did need these two. So that can go there. So bend over here, and that will go straight into the cargo type diverter. Right there. Bend, bend, and it's in. I do need another junction, I think. Actually, this could have just been a bend. And it might still be. Because this is the air belt coming over. And there is a bend over here. So let's put this one over here. Sort out air freight first. That goes in. Then I'm going to need another. This can come out. I don't need that there. And replace it with a straight belt. No, that. Getting myself all muddled. This must come out. This bend over here can go in there. And then once I have connected this into there, that's all the air freight from this lot coming into here. I hope the setup is going to be enough to deal with that. Should be. And then we'll need to link up the maritime. This will go right over there. We'll need a straight bit coming out of this side. And then two bends going into that. I have no idea if these numbers are going to hold. Anyway, we'll put all the straight lines in and see where it goes from there. Do a quick count. I think I need 7 bends. It's going to empty this pallet. I don't think I'm going to have to... Oh, there's a bend. So we'll grab that and that will go in there. And before I go and buy the bends, let me see if I can, or see how much of this slot I can finish. Oh, I just found another belt jumper. So I can put that in over here and give this a test. Yep, that's what I wanted. So that's fine. Okay, in the meantime, I was busy using up these straight bits to do this line. And with this last one, these are all done. I will double check, make sure that all the belts are upgraded. Seems there are quite a few in here that aren't. Right, I haven't quite finished. I need a couple more. That'll go there. And that one is in. Man, we've got a lot of conveyor belts. And there are lots of jumps happening as well. But now I've got all this space in the middle that I didn't really expect to have. I do need a few more belts over here. This one was... It's at Maritime. I'll just go and drop it on the belt and let it get back into position. I still have one other problem that I need to sort out. And that is to get the road and rail from this one over to there. And I don't think I want to ramp this one. I think I'd rather launch it, but then this is a bit close. But that can be solved. We'll just move this whole line out by one. And I can't really move this back because I've got that launcher landing on this belt. I think I need to do another test. Just to make sure. Wrong belt. This one. Yep, that works. Happy with that. So I'll get myself another launcher, a bunch of bends, and it looks like I'm going to need a few more straight bits. But then I can change this one to none, like that, and then change this one to maritime, and then the maritime can simply come out of there, like that. And then the bends, I'm going to need a few straight bits. To the shop we go. Okay, I've got a few, and I'm going to need one more launcher. There it is. And we'll check out. And with all of this, hopefully I can finish this up. But I do want to have a little test over here first. So that is going to jump from there. I hope that's going to work and not run off the edge. So one little test. Ooh, that's a bit close. Yeah, I'm not a fan. That is going to definitely cause a problem. So I'm going to have to rotate this one. So let's pick that up. We'll rotate it to the inputs on this side. This will be set then to rail. This one to road. And then I can bring this as the input. This will be set to none. Like that. That will just give the ramp a little bit more of a run. Actually, I'm missing a piece. I don't know if it's even going to reach. Yep. Okay, it's in the right place now. So with that in... That's perfect. We can go and get rid of our test subject. Okay, I've got a lot of belt upgrading to do. Just need to be careful I don't upgrade this one. But let's get all the belts in first. And I think I have everything in. Just going to do a run through, make sure everything that should be upgraded is upgraded. And I think that is it. We're ready. So let me close off the day and we'll be back in the morning. It is Thursday. That means it is only road and rail today. Make sure that I'm getting stickers on everything coming out. I believe I am. Okay, he says nervously, have I closed that? It is closed. Have I closed that? It is closed. So let's see how this day goes. It'll be interesting. See if my new system handles everything down this end. And if we can get a full day without any issues. So far it's looking okay. Right, we have maritime coming down here, exactly as it should. Air freight also, perfect. And I'm going to need to be a little careful because they're jumping belts everywhere and I don't want to get in the way of them. Alright, well we haven't hit full production yet. So far it's good though. The system seems to be working. I'm just wondering where it's going to get messed up. What haven't I thought of? Alright, I see a little bit of a blockage over here. Oh, it's just the merging of the outgoing declined line. Yeah, there's a little bit of a bottleneck over here. What I may do is, if I have enough space over on that side, I'll set up the same sort of three-way splitter into a rack that I did over there. But what I'll do is I'll put a smart splitter over there to take off some of the declines from this side over to that end. If I can wind a belt through there somehow, that'll maybe take the load off here a little bit. Because these are starting to back up towards the machines, which is not a good thing. And it's only because we got these two setups merging into one. But like I said, as long as it doesn't back up to the gate. If it backs up to the gate, I've got a problem. If not, no problem. But the way it's going over here, I am a bit concerned. Come on, move, move, move. Yeah, you see, now I've got a bit of a problem. Yeah, too many lines. But now the smart splitter will be smart enough to send things to where it's not blocked. And that's working, but that's eventually going to block up as well. Yep, there we go. This side is still perfect. This is a problem. Alright, well, it's another problem I need to find a solution for. We're not going to get the maximum out of that gate, but that's also causing this to start backing up. That's not ideal. Oh, we actually have a stop here. That's not right. There's something here that I'm missing. Nothing on the floor. Yeah, too many stops, too many junctions. Maybe I should just turn this one into this line and let it join that junction rather. Yeah, that's not what I want to see. Oh well, we'll sort it out. I'm seeing something funky over on that side as well. Let's see what's going on here. Is this box stuck? Yep, it was. Hopefully I can clear this now. Ah, this is very bad. Hopefully this doesn't back up to the gate as well. Yeah, I think it's just too many junctions close together. It might work if I put a bend, bring that into this junction, or even move this out a little bit further and have it come into one merger. Yeah, because it did clear. I will work on that. This side didn't back up. That's good. Yep, just need to figure this one out. Shouldn't be too difficult, but it looks like our new cargo type sorting setup worked pretty well. Yeah, all three of these belts coming together over here. That's the problem. I think I just need to eliminate a junction if I can. Or maybe two. Now that everything's passed, I'm going to move this one to there. This I'll take out. Just temporarily put it over there. This one over to there. Now that junction is still too close, but it's not huge amounts of stuff coming out of there. That one into there, and this belt to connect those two. Now we still have that. It should go a little easier. Then I want to move this one out. So I'll actually just pack it up and pack that up. Going to move this one up into that slot. Move this across. And this. Put this one in over there. And then I just need that onto that line. And then this one just needs a straight bit and a bend. What do we got here? Not a straight bit. And I just saved myself two junctions. I'll grab the bend first. Swing that in. And then the last straight piece like that. I could balance it out a bit. Maybe divert this over to here. It's a thought. No, I think that'll do. Right, we did have one error. What was it? Incorrect inspection sticker applied. Maybe I got in the way of a ramp. That might have been me. But sometimes it does glitch and do funny things. And we do have belts running very close together, so anything could have happened over here. Anyway, let's quickly run another day and see if that problem is solved. It's Friday, so we need to open air freight. So that's going to happen, and then I'll just open the gates and keep an eye on things. And this is where I'm going to be focusing. These lines coming through. Because all three of these need to come through on a single declined line going out. It still might be a bit of a jam, but as long as we don't back up to the gate, that's all I'm worried about. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I can see what's going on here. This, I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference if I put a smart splitter in to split off from here and take it into the bottom. I'm not sure that'll actually even make a difference. I'm going to give a couple of extra pieces of belt to put parcels on, but we are starting to see a little backup over here now, and quite early in the day as well. But it appears to come through in waves. Yeah, I think the smart splitter idea will work. So I just need to replace one of these belts with a smart splitter, bring it into here, so that this will push through double what's coming in from that side, because we are basically running two lines. So I've got a smart splitter. I'm going to need a merger as well. Alright, so I've got the smart splitter and merger ready, but honestly we're not actually having that much trouble. It's definitely going better than it did yesterday. I think I could improve it though. So if I pack this one up, move it out the way, put the merger down here, like that, because very little is coming out of here. I will replace that one with the smart splitter, and then I will need two straight bits. Ooh, I just noticed another issue I'm having somewhere down here. What is the problem here? These are moving through. Something further down? Oh, wow. They're just going really slowly into the rail. Yeah, that's pretty interesting there. Darn it, and it's backed it up to the gate. Man, if it's not one thing, it's something else with this game. Oh, now it's the approvals. I thought I'd figured that out, but obviously not. I'm gonna have to find a way to load the rail thing faster. Problem is, space. Don't have much. And now, everything is backed up. Oh, that's because something fell off a belt over here. Man, that might have been me. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get this right. Man, the struggle is real. Today was a complete hash-up. Anyway, we do know what the problems are here, so I'll see if I can work on them. But I think in the next episode, I'm going to make things even worse for myself by getting that area set up with the new layout. And I have an idea that might just help this. Maybe load 3 on that side, smart split them, merge them on this side, bring them to the next 3. Could work. Let's see, how much space do I have on this side? Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I definitely need to load this faster. And I think I will do that. But that will be for the next episode. And there's one more decline coming through. Pack that box up, move it out the way, grab this one, and put it in. I didn't need to do... Yes, I did. I want the smart splitter. So, to be clear, the reason that I'm doing this is because there was nothing coming in on this line, and these coming in from this side were very... They had gaps, but because these were stop-starting on this side, I was only getting 1 through for each one coming through from this side, because these would come through just in time to stop the next one from moving through here. So I was getting a 1-to-1 from each side. This way, I split these 2 up. It'll prioritize, the smart splitter will prioritize which side has the least. This will then feed in, this will feed in, so we'll get double the throughput from this side as compared to what's coming out on this side, which is exactly what we need. But there you go. If you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments. Let me know if there's anything else that I could do to improve this. But I think the idea of getting 3 of these going onto a shelf at once is maybe going to work. I might need to cut back because I have things happening over here. Or maybe just smart split. I could just do that. Just have this come across, go into 3. And then on the other side, merge. Yeah. And I've got a little bit of room to play with over here for the next batch. And I've got lots of room on this side. So that is probably what I'm going to do, but I also do want to get that area set up as well. And we'll see if my little balancing situation has helped on this side. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, cheers!